Welcome to Thank God You're Not My Child. Yes, it's a comedy podcast where I talk about whatever I want. So let's go ahead and get started this week, shall we? You're going to want to buckle up a little bit for this one. It's been a long week. Lots of travel in the last week from Missouri, Arkansas, down to Texas. My fiance is a lawyer out of Denton, Texas. Excuse me, and we have to go visit the kids, the CPS kids, and everybody is doing great, you would like to know. So that is a good plus when we travel all of those miles to make sure everyone's doing good. It's really good to know that they're all thumbs up in good shape. So anyway, we'll just bypass that because that's a good thing this time. But sometimes, lives are hard, people. Lives are hard in this world, and that's why you kind of need to open your heart and open your mind to see what everyone's going through. So when you judge someone, just know they might be going through something, if you know what I mean. So it's been a long week. I don't think we've hit 1,000 miles, but it might have been close. And since that's literally my job now, is driving my stud around. That's my job. That, and I'm a podcaster. And that's just for the ones that like to hear me ramble. But anyway, this week I wanted to talk about what you think your kids should be learning to go into kindergarten. Over the years, it's changed. It's changed so much over the years. When my son was little, literally, they wanted him to know how to sing the ABC song. And let's just go over that real fast. Your kids knowing the ABCs, not the same thing as your kid knowing the ABC song. I know. To hear a little 1.5-year-old mock that song, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it'll just warm your heart because look how small your kid is and how smart they are. And I get it. But, that's just a song. Have you seen, when my kids were little, one of my daughter's friends she played with a lot around too, and that means I was friends with her mother. You know how that means. Her friend, I don't remember the girl's name, but her favorite song was My Achy Breaky Heart, You Just Couldn't Break. Billy Ray Cyrus was her favorite one. And it was still just as cute. And is she just as smart? Yeah, because ABC is just another damn song. I'm just letting you know. So they just wanted them 35 years ago to know the song and understand they're supposed to be learning. But can your son wipe his own butt, pull his own pants up, put his own shoes on, put his own jacket on, blow his own nose, eat his own food? Can he be nice to people? Can he keep his hands to himself? I could go on all day long with those life things that your kids really need to know that parents are doing for their kids way past the time they should. And this is just on down the line kid now. So don't go, kids are on all different wavelengths, all different knowing, all different. Some are autistic. This is just your child that you're teaching. You really should not be wiping your kindergarten's butt every time they go. I'm just saying. They are kindergarten too, so you might need to be the mama or the daddy and sometimes check things down there and make sure they're doing it right. But you should not be doing it every time. And if you are, stop. Teach them how before you send them to school, people. Being smart is not knowing how to sing the ABCs. Being smart is learning how to listen. And my grandbaby just turned 2, and she can listen, because they sure do. Oh, that was almost close to listen, Linda. My theories on listen, Linda. But anyway, and so listening is very good too. Having a kid sit still for so long, can be very, very hard. So that's why I suggest reading to your kids, because most kids will listen to a book when they really want to listen to it, sitting in your lap. So if you want to teach your child how to sit down and listen for a little while, your best bet is sitting down and reading them a small book to start, and just keep it going. Keep it going. One day you might be into chapter books and they love to hear you read. And guess who's going to want to learn those ABCs for real and learn how to read and learn how to maybe sit still and enjoy a different world in a book? See, that's all part of learning right there. And just to let you know, there are many states, and I searched up, Florida was the first one I noticed that said they're going to start letting kids graduate high school, even that maybe can't write completely or read on a good level. And, what? How do you expect, let's just say the world does come to the shit does hit the fan like they're saying it's gonna, and there's no internet. If kids can't read, how are they going to, first of all, how are kids going to read? Because if kids can't read, some of these kids right now don't even want to listen to a soul and how grandma used to do things or my mom used to do things. I'm cutting my mom off because she spanked me, and I have horrors from her spanking me. We're not talking a beating. We're talking just a whooping. Just a regular, you know what, I'm just going to cut her off. I don't need to ask anybody how to do anything. I'll just go to Google. What happens when you don't have Google? You have to be able to read, guys. You also have to have people you can trust on how you're supposed to do things, because you just never know if we're not ever going to have that computer around. I'm just saying. We have some crazy winds here in Oklahoma, so I'm going to try to edit the big slams of the metal on the DeLorean that I'm working on. But the reason it's called a DeLorean, I'll have to take a picture of it and show all of you guys on Instagram, is because it has two doors that open completely up like the DeLorean, and it's silver. And sometimes they bang, so I'm working on that. So hopefully I'll be able to edit all of those out. So your social stuff that your kids do, blow their own nose. Can they hold a pencil? I know that sounds stupid. Can they hold a crayon? I know. It sounds like the most ridiculous thing. But with so many tablets and phones and stuff out, a lot of kids are having problems even holding their pencil. And some kids have a problem holding it to begin with. It's a hard concept. And if you aren't letting your kids scribble on some paper or some chalkboard or something to let them get the grips of how they're supposed to hold their pencil, how are they going to know how to do it? Yes, I know, you sending them to school, but aren't you the mama? Aren't you the mama? This is where I'd officially say this is my soap shit box. You remember that? Remember me talking about that? That this is just my soapbox. And since it's mine, I'm going to call it a shit soapbox. Because a lot of people might not get on my box with me, but I don't really give a shit. So it's my shit soapbox. You know what I mean? Let's let your kids, teach them how to take care of themselves before you send them off to school. Teach them how to tell the truth. How to tell the truth. How to keep their hands to themselves. How to wash their butt. How to wipe their noses. How to listen to directions. How to eat when you're hungry. How to tell people maybe you're not so hungry instead of saying you don't like something. Because, sometimes we just don't want to eat. And that's okay. That's okay. You know what I mean? So let's teach them to do all of that. And laundry. I don't even know if I really allow my kids to do laundry now. And they're 31 and 35. If they were at my house now and I had a washer and dryer, because, this year we should be building a wash house, and then I won't have to go off and do my laundry. Yay. When we build the house, I'll have one in there. Isn't that going to be glorious? It's going to be so glorious. And I might not have to worry about the wind so much, because this wind here, I'm thinking it's 50-mile-an-hour winds already today. But it's a beautiful day. So, let's get those kids learning how to be kind. What about being kind? And let's teach them how to love people. Just people. And maybe how to be upset and deal with it. Because if your kid doesn't know how to get upset and deal with it. They've got to learn that throughout time, because I'm 54. I'm pretty sure I'm 54. I think I'm 54. Born in 69. Pretty sure I'm 54. And I can still get upset sometimes and confused on how I'm supposed to handle it. And you're handling it the wrong way, which we have all done many times. It's fucked. And so letting your kid make those decisions when they're strong, it's not strong, yeah, strong and little, help them fumble, help them learn, because then when they're older, it's better making decisions. So yeah, so do you think your kids should be learning all of this? I think so. And you know, the best way to teach your kid an alphabet is not in order. Don't teach your kids how to A, B, C, D in order. Maybe just pinpoint it. I mean, I wouldn't set them down at two. You know me, I'm a play-based one. If you want them to learn a letter, I always started with the letter their name started with, or mom and dad, so M and D. Or if their name is Charlotte, start with the C. This is what your name starts with, and you can find it on billboards. There's so many different ways to look for alphabets, and it is all a learning curve before kindergarten. So you got to do what you got to do, and remember, wiping your butt is more important than if they know what a D looks like or a Y looks like, if you can't know why to wipe the pee off you, yeah, or the poop, if you know what I mean. The one thing I wanted when my kids were little is I wanted them to be smarter than me. And I think I can definitely say my kids are smarter than me. I'm still learning every day. But I'm pretty definitely sure that I have two brilliant kids. I think we all think that of our kids, but I'm pretty sure that my kids are smarter than me. And I would think everybody would want their kids to be a little smarter than them. You know? Because I love my kids. They're scary independent. They don't need me that much. I talk to them all the time. They're just not needy kids. They're living great lives, and I just get to be a part of it. And that's what we all want as a parent. And so you got to start when they're little. The bottom line is for your kids to be independent when they grow up. And they're not going to be independent at 5, and they're not going to be independent at 10 or 15. But that is your ultimate goal, is 18, 19, when they're going to college or going out to get their own apartment, or like me, getting married and having a baby at 19. They need to know. They need to know how to learn how to do that, that somebody does not know everything. Let's keep asking our grandmothers. Keep asking your moms. Keep asking your aunts. Keep asking all of these moms and these dads, well, hey, how did you do it when your kids were little? Because you know what? Google might not tell you what they did, and it might be something that you need. So I'll challenge you, instead of asking Google for your next thing you need with your kid or whatever, to ask a friend you trust, ask an elder, ask somebody. You know, I was talking to my aunt a couple of weeks ago, and she has got the onset of dementia, so we talk. You know how that goes. The stories are usually kind of the same thing again and again and again. But I just love her, so I listen to them every time. And she was married once, and he passed. Uncle Don passed away, and years ago. And she was telling me, and she knew I was divorced and I was getting remarried, and she remembered all that. And she said, you know, though, when you find somebody that really loves you, you don't have to worry about all the other stuff. It just falls in line, Donna. And you know what? I understand that now. You don't have to worry about anything, really. You don't. You just go for what you think you need, what you want. And you know what? I might not be that daycare provider anymore that gets hugs all day long and kids screaming all day long and people to talk to all day long. Because living up here off grid, There's not always people to talk to. So that was why I decided, you know what? Who doesn't want to listen to me talk for 15, 20 minutes a day? Because I'm sure there's people out there that miss talking to me all the time. I'm sure. I'm sure there's some old daycare parents that miss me. And I'm sure when they hear this one, I'm sure I'm going to get some text. And this is all I'm going to say. If you really want to prove that you're an old daycare parent and you're listening to my podcast, I better get a DM about what you thought was funny about it or what you want me to talk about. I know I got a lot of people out there I used to take care of their kids. Let's just test this. Remember, my number one biggest fan is one of my babies from daycare. Right, Dimitri? Okay, so anyway, it was all about let your kids learn. Just let them learn. Let them learn to read. Let them learn to do their own stuff, take care of themselves, because you only have so many years to teach them this. And you know what? If you live in a state where they're deciding that kids don't need to know how to read, write, or even algebra or math, which I think is kind of silly, because I don't need no damn math. You might need to check and see what the fuck they're thinking. How are these people going to know what to do? Reading. Reading, some people like to, some people don't. But going into a restaurant and picking up a menu and knowing what the fuck you can eat is just, yep. So, learn how to read. Help those babies. Learn how to help them make big choices. Okay, so I think I already told you more than I know. So until next time, thank God you're not my child.